holding you down and keeping you on point. Breakdown FM, the only station in the nation that's down by law.
We don't want to be left behind. All we want to do is just blow your mind just one more time.
And you say New York City right about now. To the sound you hear, deaf to your ear, you have no fear. The Mix Master Mike, Disco Dave, the amazing Crash Crew is here. Backed by popular demand and shot the motherland. Giving you more than what you bargained for. In your mind, bringing you the baddest jams we can find.
We don't want to be left behind. All we want to do is just blow your mind just one more time.
And you say New York City right about now.
We don't want to be left behind. All we want to do is just blow your mind just one more time.
And you say New York City right about now. To the sound you hear, deaf to your ear, you have no fear. The Mix Master Mike, Disco Dave, the amazing Crash Crew is here. Backed by popular demand and shot the motherland. Giving you more than what you bargained for. In your mind, bringing you the baddest jams we can find.
We are here to tell the world just who we are. Shocking females, cause we are superstars. Let me tell you, the bass in your face, the highs in your eyes, so make your nature rise. Cause we are the Crash Crew, and we rock till you can't survive.
So it's Friday the 3rd, when we heard the word Mike and Davey taking over the town.
And now the happy people
was dancing to the beat of the vicious Crash Crew sound.
With 2 DJs, 6 MCs,
we rock the house so viciously. And I'm the R, the E, double G-I-E. Be the highest degree and the woman's key. Satisfy your needs and curiosity.
Well, I'm the B-S-T-R-O. So I came here to rock, I came here to roll. Wouldn't touch the whack, I with a 10-foot pole.
Cause I'm the L to the A, the S-H-U, to the B-E-E. I'm lost you be because I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. They talk about B over cups of tea.
Well, I'm the M to the I, the K-E-C. Because I rock the mic of tranquility. Or with the force of the 5, not for MC. Cause I am the only E-K Mike C.
And I'm the G-double-E, the M-A-N. And I want you young ladies just to understand that I'm spreading my loving from land to land. Doing it all with my master plan.
And I come to you in the radio wave. I rock the house cause I can't behave. All the females on the block just praise and crave. I go by the name of a Disco Dave.
So don't quit the beat quitting, stop the beat stopping. Come on down, see, just keep on rocking.
Right now is Hard Knock Radio. Davey D hanging out with you live in New York City, KPFA, and we are with some of hip-hop's legends. We're talking about members of the Crash Crew. If you gentlemen can step on up to the mic and let everybody know in Northern California who you are so they can recognize the voice as we start our conversation.
How you doing? I'm Pretty Ricky. Now, I'm EK Mike C. I'm from the legendary Crash Crew. Up here in Harlem in my home studio.
It's a nice studio for folks who can't see the video, but it's nice. You got all the equipment, a TV mounted to the wall. He also got his bed in the same place, so that's all good. Studio with a bed. You know, long night sessions. Who's this here?
Name is Lashu B. One of the coolest rappers that's ever been in the rap game. Listen to one of the Crash Crew hits and you'll wonder why.
Let me ask you, man, you know, just to start off, a name like Lashu B, that's a unique name. You just don't have names like, you know, I'm used to Mac this, Mac Dre, Mac Don, or, you know, Big This, or Little L, or Little M, and Little B, and, I mean, but Lashu B, that's a whole different thing. What's that about? How'd you get that name?
Well, the concept came from back in 79, 77, well, 77, 79. We used to go to different parks and hear people play. And everybody had a name. Somebody was a B this or B that. So I took La from Larry. And Shoe I took from a jockey and a basketball player, Willie Shoemaker. And it was the basketball players that played to the school that I went to called Deaver Clinton. And his name was, forgot his name, but he had a shoe in it. So the combination I put together, you know, I mean, members of my crew even laughed at that night. They said, what's a lot should be? I said it sound good. So I stuck with it. I made it work, and you know, I mean, it's become like a phenomenon. People say, what's the shoe be? You 5%er? No, it's just a name that I made up.
Because most of the time back then, you had names like, if your name was Arnold, it'd be Arnie On, or Dave, Davey Dave, or if you MC'd, you might put a D or a T or B at the end of your name for Davey D, or, you know, Mikey T, or something like that, or Melly Mel. But that was just an unusual thing. So were you able to, was it a good name to rhyme with? I mean, was it easy to rhyme that name?
Oh, yeah, it was a great name to rhyme to because I threw a little flavor to it. You know, I just said like to the L to the A to the SHU to the BEE, I'm La Shoe B. So when people heard it, they was always want to know who Shoe B. You know, I got to put that person with that name, that face. Let me hear him. Let me see who he's about. Then when you heard me, you saw me, you say, yeah, that's Shoe B.
Okay, and who's this here?
Peace, what's up, yo? This is Yoda from the legendary Crash Crew / Zulu Nation / Rob Bass and all that other good stuff / Total Image Productions.
Now let me start off and ask you all, you know, what do you all do with the Crash Crew and how did you all start? And let me start off with you, Mike. How did the Crash Crew start?
Okay, the Crash Crew started back in 1977, early part of 77 actually. We all grew up in the same neighborhood just about. And
that neighborhood is?
That neighborhood is Lincoln Projects on 135th and 5th Avenue. We all formed together and came about and said, let's make it happen. We formed the group Crash Crew. Reggie Reg came up with the name because he was all into the comic book era at that time. And
who else was in the crew?
Whoa, we had about 20, close to 20 cats in the group at the time. We had a subgroup called the Poison Clan, which rolled with us, and that consisted of members. A guy named Larry, we called him LSD, Buzz, 45, Mace, TC, Stan the Man,
Yoda. Well, I don't want to cut you off some about
Debbie Deb,
PC Clan, but Wu-Tang also got the Poison Clan because we all, originally how we got the word Poison Clan, we went to the movies and saw this movie called 5 Deadly Venom. They are originally the PC Clan. So it really, the 20 of us that hang out together, we was inspired by watching that movie, you know, all these different karate moves. Then we called ourselves the Poison Clan. Then we shifted to Crash Crew. Because with 20 of us, we was the Poison Clan.
Well, actually, before we shifted to Crash Crew, we also had another name called the Force of the Five.
That was the last one.
You know, that was still another element.
That was the Poison Clan.
Right.
Poison Clan was broken down to Crash Crew. The Poison Clan was broken down to Force of the 5 MCs, which was our top 5 MCs, which is Shoe B, Mike C, G-Man, Barry Bishaw, and Reggie Reg. Then the top DJ, which was Dow C, was the DJ. So that 6 right there made up the core of Crash Crew, which is known now. But that was still the original Force of the 5 MCs. And then you had the Poison Clan, which was the rest of us. We was like the secondary DJs. Some of us rhymed. We was the ones that went out there and promoted our parties, which is all Mike and Dave parties, which is still another entity of Poison Clan. Mike and Dave was the promoters. Crash Crew was the primary artist. Poison Clan was the support. We was a total unit, self-contained. We was like the ones that didn't need to go outside for anything. We had everything. We had our security. We had our cats that was going to carry equipment. We had the cats that was going to just be there to support. Like if one MC couldn't come in, we'd have another MC take one of the Force of the 5 spot. If Dow C couldn't DJ, Yoda would take a spot. Mace G would take a spot. Or LSD would take a spot. One of the other DJs. I mean, we was interchangeable like that.
Now that was kind of unique in the sense that you had this entrepreneurial or company basically set up at a time when New York was plagued with gang problems and the whole nine. How did you all make this jump from going from an era where gangs were prevalent to becoming an organization, or were you guys in transition? Did you have a bunch of hard heads that was part of the crew and just, you know?
Well, we had Mike and Dave. Mike and Dave was the organization because Mike Thomas had worked in a recording studio. So he was older than us, a lot older than us. So he followed what his boss did, and he saw, well, I can take this, make money on it, and I got to do this independent. So he knew how to get records pressed.
But even before records were pressed, I'm talking about just the fact that you guys were a crew and that you were promoting parties, that you guys had your own security, that you guys had, backup DJs, that you all were doing that even before the records were pressed.
This was Mike and Dave. Mike and Dave was like the corporate heads. They kept us in line. We were young knuckleheads.
That's right.
To us, you give me a girl and that made my day. To Mike and Dave, this is a business. Okay? Y'all come to rehearsals. You don't come to rehearsal, there's a problem.
Oh yeah.
You had to carry speakers. They built their own systems.
We built our own system.
So we went out and promote the parties. Now the MCs, we was too fly to give out flyers, so we had so many people in the crew. Let them do it. Okay, but we were supposed to give them out too, because they would give us stacks of hundreds, give them out when you go to school. We felt that was tarnishing our image. But Mike and Dave had a company going. They was one of the originals who had a DJ company when it started.
We'll keep on rocking.
So run to the front to peep us out. We be rocking the house, say without a doubt. We ride around town in slick hot rods with the newest sensation, sense hard and soft, but Reggie Red.
It's better for your head.
Davey Strode.
It's better for your head. Shoe bees. Better for your head.
You might see.
It's better for your head.
Melody Man.
It's better for your head.
Disco Day.
It's better for your head. Mix Master Mike. It's better for your head.
So if you got 19 on the go,
Somebody say ho, ho.
you don't stop, cause I'm super cool and got a high potential. Necessary element and essential. Rocking the house with the greatest of ease. We bringing young ladies down to the knees. So come in the door, we'll make you dance. Soon you'll be a victim of circumstance. You find your feet in a disco trance. And when you think of escape, there is no chance. The beat holds you tight when we're on the mic. Cause I'm MC Reggie Reg and I'm out of sight to be stroll. I'm on mellow. What it look like when you're on the mic? Tell a sucker MCs don't bite. Well, I'm
Now, you know, this interesting you mentioned is y'all went to rehearsals. I mean, the way that it is today, you don't think of hip-hop as going to rehearsals. I mean, what did you do in rehearsals? You guys just didn't make stuff up on the spot?
No. Some rappers did. Me personally, I did. But we still practice. Mike and Dave had a place just like this. And they had the studio within there. We would come up there. They'd make us come up there like, 4 times a week. We had to be there a certain time. If you didn't, you got penalized.
What was the penalized?
You lost $5 out your pocket.
Or Disco Dave
would kick you in the chest. Or you wouldn't even get to get on the mic or something. Because then they would say, well, like, you don't have no rhyme, so we ain't gonna put you on there, so you got to carry equipment or so-and-so. So it was like a school almost.
It depends on how many times you broke the rules.
You broke the rules? Yeah. You broke a rule, they made you pay for it. That's what made us hone our skills besides going out watching other artists. Because we knew flashing and practice. We knew the Bronx practice. Nobody just walked in there and clammed up on stage and did what they did. They practiced.
So, you know, it's interesting. So what were some of the routines that you guys were known for doing? I mean, the first time I heard Crash Crew was actually on tapes, and you all used to harmonize, you know, like the 5 of Heartbeats. Was that something unique for hip-hop at that time? Was that considered being a part of hip-hop, or was that just commonplace and you guys just happened to excel at that particular skill?
Well, it was a commonplace, because in the Bronx, when they did a record, to be honest with you, when I heard Flash...
Well, let's talk about before records.
Before records. When Flash and them did the beatbox.
Okay.
Before, when they was on stage, they was doing things like, we came in tonight, take off our frustration. They was doing it. But where they did it from where we did it, we took another step. See, we had at least 3 or 4 members in the crew who could do a little harmony. So we took it that next step.
For example,
we did stuff like We Are Known as MCs on the radio.
Which is all routine.
Which was all routine. Before they were records.
Okay.
So we used to come outside and introduce it to the crowd. Like things like, we're on top of the world, looking on competition, and the only exploitation that I found. So we took like 60 theme songs, changed them to a rhyme version. And we harmonized it to the crowd. It was like, whoa.
The Crash is rocking on your radio.
But in your mind, forget the fantasy.
Cause it's the whole of the lie. DJ Davey, we're rocking you down with a musical way. Oh, while the rhythm makes you all become beat slave.
It makes you follow and toe to the musical flow.
As we begin to rock you on the radio. Now that we got your attention, there's something that we should mention. There's something that you all should know. Reggie Ray's rocking on the radio.
Now we see the phone call from a reliable source, but he was talking too fast and I got lost. I asked him to explain what he was talking about. My man was too excited, he began to shout. I finally figured out what homeboy was saying.
You never guess what the radio's
I
playing.
turned my stereo on, and what do you know? Reggie Reg was rocking on your radio.
Bistro is rocking on the radio.
I have powers that are only mine. I can make a blind man walk a straight line. I dated queens, I beat up kings. I had 20 gold chains and 5 gold rings. I stole the throne, I wore the crown. I can even bench press 300 pounds.
His name is Bistro, you can call him a pro.
Plus I'll be rocking on the radio.
Mike C is rocking on the radio.
The well balance of my talents is a gift from God. To find sense of thought, it shouldn't be made hard. Cause I'm a man that's strong, that's where I belong. You're guaranteed to get this if you tell me I'm wrong. Your mind is crunch as I take you to lunch. With my high power rounds, I knock you out like a punch.
No time to explain because it really don't matter.
I'm EK Mike C and I will serve you on a platter.
G-Man is rocking on the radio.
G-Man, but other rappers can't address me as Lord. The rhyme is my armor, the mic is my sword. In the MC joust, I've never been bested. Cause the rap I'm popping goes uncontested like a lethal weapon. The rap will make set your butt on fire with the heat from the flame.
So don't you get out of line.
You better stay in your place. Cause if you don't, I'm gonna dish your face.
Shooby is rocking on the radio.
Well, I'm MC Shooby, the MC Supreme. Be rocking on the mic with a gangster lean. Been rocking that party since 17. Said I walk around town in designer jeans. And I should know that, stated as a fact. And I'm the only MC that got it like that. Well, I'm MC Shooby and I want y'all to know
He's telling his story on the radio. Don't quit the beat when it starts to be stopping. Keep moving, just keep on rocking. It's music that's made for your mind. It'll rock you each and every time. We're on the microphones rapping. Sounds so good, your hands will start clapping. And when we finish rocking at the show, we'll be rocking on your radio.
What was the early audience like when you all was doing this, and how did they latch on? You know, being up here in Harlem, the black capital of the USA. How did they treat you?
Well, honestly, at first it was crazy because there wasn't no fan base. I mean, you had like your local cats that's from your projects that would come into your community center and see you, and then like, all right, so what? We see you in the corner every day. We're not supporting y'all like this, you know. But then as hip hop itself grew, so did the fan base. I mean, we used to literally go to the local candy store and practice in the basement just to get cats to listen to us. You know what I'm saying? And like the lady that owned the candy store would allow us to do this because she had like a game room downstairs. So she felt if we was in there, that would pull people down there also to spend money. And in school was another story because you had like other crews that was trying to do this. And like if your party was like kind of weak that week, you know you didn't want to go into the lunchroom. Because you had like in Shooby school, you had like Jekyll and Hyde was in the same school.
Now Jekyll and Hyde, dad was Andre Harrell. Once ran Uptown Records and Motown.
Right. This is when he before they did AM PM and all this other stuff, and he was still rhyming. Then you had Lovebug Starsky was in the school.
What school was this?
Hughes. Hughes. And you know these cats was already established before us. So he had the little fan base. They were doing the block party thing and all this other thing. So he had people that was coming from all over to see them. So their parties would be a little bit, you know, fuller than ours that weekend. And they would hear about it in the lunchroom.
Yeah. That was the same time when we used to wear sweatshirts.
Hold on a second. Let me just grab the microphone.
That was around the same time when we used to wear sweatshirts and play hooky out the classrooms and be in the lobby, banging on the walls, and everybody. King Tim went to that school as well. King Tim the Third.
And Wait, King Tim, who put out the first rap record, Fatback Band? Really?
Okay. Yes, and that rhyme that he got was from Shoe B. I think he snatched that rhyme up from him and used it on the record. Really? You know, but we wasn't mad at him, you know. And yeah, that was basically what it was, you know. Come in there, you got your little Crash Crew t-shirt on, be in the hallway, somebody do the beatbox on the door, and each one of us would take a step up to the plate and throw the best lyrics out there. You know, Shubi was good as freestyling. I give that to him. He was good on freestyling.
And that's
what did you excel in?
I'm more of
the lever,
trying to concrete the routines together as far as the songs and stuff, because that's my thing. I love harmony and songs, you know.
And Mike was good. Mike C was good as an arranger. He was like the arranger. You know what I mean? I mean, he was like the glue that, like, what everybody else was coming up with, Mike would be like, "Well, we need to do it here. I think you should rhyme here." You know, and he was like set up the order and make sure everything gelled. That was what Mike C was good at.
Okay, that's the voice of Yoda. You also heard the voice of Mike C and also La Shupi. We're talking with the legendary Crash Crew, 94.1 Hard Knock Radio. And when we return, we'll continue our conversation.
Crash is rocking on your radio. This is the way. This is the way. Correct. See money. This is the way we harmonize. This is the way we harmonize. This is the way we harmonize. We are known as MCs. We always aim to please. Five bad brothers looking out for one another. We turn parties out. We turn parties out. We turn parties out.
Now you heard us before, so hear us again. The crew that was voted most likely to win. Cause down C rocks without a backspin. And our rhymes are so fly, they float on the wind. So come along on a musical trip and keep in step, be sure you don't slip. Rock to the left and move to the right. And listen to the words we say on the mic.
I'm talented, well-rounded. You see, I have a lot of skills that I hit, and when it's time to reveal, it's gonna be a big deal. All those skills plus sex appeal. My name is Bistro, and I like the check because I hit 500 when I swing a bat. Big poster boy, top athlete. There's not a challenge in the world that I can't meet.
I'm gonna stick to entertaining cause it's something that I'm gaining. New faces, many places, big butts for naming. I love a big crowd ever since I was a child. Hip-hop and non-stop is what made me go out. What I bring to my people must be a treat. Day after day, week after week. It's something soft and sweet, it's not nothing to eat. M-E-E-K, Mike C.
Now, girls, scream out like ice cream with the CG man, the man of their dreams. Handsome face and physique to go with it. One look at me and they're ready to submit it. The G is rough and I got good stuff, and it's up to the ladies to call my bluff. In the game of love, I'm like a home run hitter. When it comes to getting women, I'm a real go-getter.
Well, I'm MC Shubi, the prince of sound. Cause when I'm on the mic, I make you get down. I'm too hot to try, too cold to freeze. It ain't no girl that I can't please. And when I get on the mic, I start to rap. I'm guaranteed to put the ladies right in my track.
Tell your jealous boyfriend, stay a mile on back.
I put a rope around your neck and I cut you, slap, slap, cut you, no slap.
If you wanna party and rock with everybody, so if you wanna get down with the five bad brothers, looking out for one another, we'll never steer you wrong. So if you wanna sing along,
back, and we're continuing our conversation with one of hip-hop's pioneering groups, the Crash Crew. One of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you all about was the early scene. And when I talk about the early scene of hip-hop, I'm talking about before the landmark record, Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang, because that's when I think the whole world was introduced to rap, and there's been a lot of history on that, but people are very curious as to what happened before then. You know, there's a lot of different stories, a lot of tales, and not a whole lot of information. So let me start off with you, Lashubi, and then we'll go to Yoda and then Mike, you know, to talk about some of the early crews that you knew that were coming out. And I asked this question from the context of understanding that we're familiar with the Bambatas and Kool Hercs and Grandmaster Flashes, who were in hip-hop's birthplace, the Bronx. But in other conversations, you said there were a lot of crews that came out of Manhattan that were just as important in the development of hip-hop. And when I say Manhattan, money-making Manhattan, we're talking about Harlem in particular. And maybe you could shed some light on those early crews and what their contributions were.
Okay, now, we were originally the true Harlem Worlds. What Puffy and them be saying now, we had groups like Funky, who are coming out uptown. We had Treacherous 3. Basically now you know him as Cool Mo D.
He's an actor now.
He's an actor now, but he was Treacherous 3, the Heartbeat. Used to battle us every weekend in the park. You had Felix 4. You had Spoonie G. Okay, these are what Manhattan was contributing to the rap early in the game, where we was in the parks coming out with 2 Technique turntables. Okay, we were out there playing to the street lamps on a Saturday, Sundays. We went from housing project to housing project, 77, 78, 79, 80. People didn't give us the recognition because we're the borough that they said didn't start hip-hop, but we were one that came after that. And we did, matter of fact, the contributors that we did was tremendous. I mean, we had people like Ray Wan, Johnny Wawa, that people never knew about. Magnificent Seven on the east side, people never knew about. We had Paris and Pinelio in them and St. Nick. We had Master Don and the Deaf Committee. People didn't know about. All this came out of Manhattan.
Money-making Manhattan.
Money-making. Harlem, USA. Harlem World, as we used to say it back then.
Forgot about the Harlem World crew.
You know.
And well, go ahead, yo.
And then, you know, speaking of Harlem World, you had like the Harlem World crew. You know, Ronnie Green was later was Captain Rock. You had a couple of records under that name. I mean, Jekyll and Hyde, Andre Arell, Uptown Records, like we said before. Son of Sam, who now runs things at the Apollo, holding it down over there. I mean,
these were rappers?
Yeah, the rappers, the DJs. Harlem World was also one of the main clubs in Harlem on 116th Street. And Son of Sam, Ronnie Green, and his crew were like, that was their spot. You know, they was like the main cats there. But, you know, we always come in there and, you know, rip it and go and do our own parties or whatever. But, I mean, these were cats that was making a difference. But then on our side of the block, I want to get away from everybody else and bring it back to Crash Crew. What we was doing at this time, like Shu said, you know, we was coming out in the parks in Lincoln projects or whatever projects we had to come out in, and people were coming down to see us. I mean, we started building up our sound system. We would build our own speakers. We had what we called the 10,000 watt Mace Monster sound system, which is like a homemade cabinet with like 4 big 15-inch woofers or whatever in it. And we had like 2 or 3 of those, plus all the Sherwin Vegas and 100,000 amps and all this other crazy stuff we used to go everywhere with. And you could literally hear our sound for blocks. And people started flocking down to Lincoln Projects. What's this? What's going on down here? And we used to spend all night until the people from across the street used to call the cops, y'all gotta turn it down, and we got shut down. And then we had groups coming from all over to perform with us on the freebie tip. We had like Flash and them, we used to come down across the bridge from the Bronx. You know, I mean, Treacherous 3 used to come down off the hill
Disco 4.
You got Disco 4 used to come from Drew Hamilton.
Disco 4 is different than the Fearless 4.
Oh yeah, this is Greg G, who right now runs the Entertainers Tournament. This was his group. Bobby Robinson, who owned Enjoy Records at that time, this was his son's group, Roddy G. Disco 4.
B-Fats.
Oh, so yeah, B-Fats. You had Hollywood. DJ Hollywood, who's one of the most influential party rocking DJs ever. I mean, to this day, still.
Eddie Cheever was from Harlem as well?
Yes, Eddie Cheever. Eddie Cheever was rocking the parks, and then later on he had a club called Broadway International that was his residency. I mean, you had all these Pete DJ Jones, Red Alert.
And I thought Pete was up in the Bronx.
He was in the Bronx, but you gotta remember he made his name in Manhattan because this is where all the spots, the disco spots, because he's like so-called disco DJs.
Okay, so when we talk about hip-hop, there was two sides of it early on. There was the street side with cats that were younger, like yourselves at that time, and then there was a disco side to it, the clubs, people that sounded like a Curtis Blow. Hey, to the beat, hey, that was different.
That was like your Love Bug Starskis, because those were like the first cats that really cracked the mic while he was spinning records. Okay. Like you had Cowboy, they did it for Flash. Cowboy was like one of the first ones that said yes, yes, y'all to the beat, Melano and Cowboy. Then we all like expanded on what they was doing. But you gotta remember, like when we first heard Grandmaster Flash and everything was simple. Rhymes were simplistic. It was more like yes, yes, y'all to the beat. You had an echo chamber that somebody was rocking, trying, that was impressing the crowd and enticing the crowd. You heard, yes, yes, y'all to the beat. And then Flash, it was about the DJ then. The MC was just there. He was just dressing. He was letting everybody know what was coming up, who was in the house that he knew, and that was it. It was about the DJ, rocking the party, doing incredible tricks, scratching, back spinning, and all this other stuff. And then it evolved to the point where the MCs started stepping up their rhyme skills. It was no more hickory dickory dock. They started telling stories. Then you started getting MCs like us that started putting routines together. Like they would sing a song and make you feel it, and then drop a rhyme in there. And you had.
Now let me ask you: would you all consider that hip hop? Because you hear a lot of people who wear backpacks and consider themselves purists who go, "Oh, that singing's not hip hop. That's not keeping it real. That's not keeping it true to the essence of hip hop." I mean, if you all were doing this in '78 or '77, wouldn't that be hip hop?
Yes, sir. How can it not be hip hop if that's the way it started? We are the premier hip hop group from Manhattan. If we did it, how can you say how we pioneered that style of MCing, right, which everybody else from Force MCs, not MDs that's out now, the Force MCs, Dr. Rock and everybody else, Grandmaster Caz and them, they developed it. Whip and everybody had their own way. They would break down commercials, would be a rhyme. They would start singing different theme songs from TV shows. That would be a rhyme. So they were singing from day one. Like Shu said earlier, when Flash rocked the beatbox, you had Raheem singing "We Came Here Tonight," woo, to kick off our frustrations. They were singing from day one. So to the backpackers, learn your history, seek us out, we'll break it down for you.
Okay, something to think about. That's my man Yoda. Mike C., what would you add that you remember from the early days that they may have not have covered? Some things that people would go, wow, I didn't know that. That was really important in the building and evolution of hip-hop.
Well, basically, they covered most of the ground.
Well, that's what I was going to ask him. It's a record company, but go ahead. Give me your thoughts on that. Then I wanted to ask you about that first record company that came out.
The first record company, Mike and Dave? Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, when we first decided to record our first record, we basically done the distribution. We sold records out of the back trunk.
What year are we talking about?
We talking late 79. Yeah.
So you guys were... If there were 10 hip-hop records that first came out, you guys would be one of those 10, right? What was the name of the first record that came out and in the record label that it was on?
Okay, it was High Power Rap. It was off of Freedom. which later on Flash and them carried the same label.
And the original song of that was Get Up and Dance.
Get Up and Dance, right, by Malaco. And yeah, we actually, you know, got the records pressed up. We was on a pretty much of a small budget, you know, but we made it happen. You know, we had labels that were blank, so we had a little stamp and we put our own little name and address number for contacts, you know. So basically it was a one-sided record.
And this was on Mike and Dave Records. These were the promoters that held you guys together.
Right.
Now, did y'all get paid off that record? You know, yeah. I mean, did y'all get a lot of money, you know, bling bling and all that?
We got put it this way, it wasn't a third-party cut, so it was more of a 50-50 type thing that we worked out with Mike and Dave, you know. We did the promotion, like I said, we did the distribution. We went out to the distributors, hand them boxes, you know, came back a couple of weeks for returns, things of that nature. So everything was more of a 50-50 cut between Mike and Dave and Crash Crew.
Now, on High Powered Rap, there's a unique scenario to that. We can hear an excerpt from that on a very popular record today. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, we were robbed. Now let me stop. Yeah, we got vamped, you know, by Jay-Z, you know, and what makes it so bad is that.
Well, tell us what part of the record is that everybody hears that originated from the Crash Crew.
Okay, the part that the major part that's on this record, Girls, Girls, Girls. It's Girls I Do Adore, that came from our first record. And what's so bad about it is that, you know, the brother don't want to give no credit to the creators who made the record, you know.
So you mean the hook, when it goes, Girls, 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 Girls I Do Adore, that's you guys.
That's us.
1979.
1979. We created that routine, and that record held us out for a long time, you know. Still to this day, when we do the record, we get much love, you know, from people that knew us from years or people that heard the record in general, you know.
Let me ask you this. Rap artists have been accused of being thieves, in a sense. Oh, you guys sample music, you're not real musicians, you guys take from James Brown, didn't give back, etc., etc. And rap artists for a long time have said, well, all we're doing is we're bringing back the old school to a new generation. Why wouldn't that apply in this situation if Jay-Z, 20 years after the fact, is taking the hook from a particular record? How's that not the same?
Well, first of all, when we did it, we gave props to who was doing it. You know what I mean? In old records, you never heard nobody deny that I got this from James Brown, unless you was a DJ. If you was a DJ, you covered your records. But as far as the MCs was shouting out whoever. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't like they were saying, I did this, I did that. And then you also got to remember, a lot of us did play instruments also, so we was adding to what they did anyway. A lot of us played drums, a lot of us played keyboards,
Really? I didn't realize that. Who played instrument?
Matter of fact, we used to... I'm sorry, this is Mike C again. Crash Crew, basically, we started out with a drummer. Right. His name was Apache. And we used to play out in the park with the live drummer. You know?
Now that's a little bit unusual, because at the time that all this was happening, you didn't have after-school programs to teach you how to play instruments. I know in my high school, and Shuby, you went there for a little bit, you know, Bronx Science, there was no music class. You know, they cut all that out. So how unusual was that to have, you know, people in New York playing live instruments?
Pretty much very. Everything was basically self-taught, you know. From elementary school, I took a little lesson of violin, but that really, I wouldn't really put that as a cause.
You weren't out there playing the violin in the Crash Crew routines.
Right.
What do you play now?
What I play now, I play a little bit of keyboard and I program drums, you know. With the keyboard, you can basically play anything, you know.
Right.
Keyboard, you can play a guitar, flute, violin.
But going back to this thing with Apache, so that was like a big hit then to have the drummer out.
Right. And it was unusual, you know. And that's another thing why a lot of people used to come around us, you know, to check out the sounds that we was doing. A lot of things we've done was basically different, you know, things that people haven't heard before. And from there, we just carried on and just each year we tried to do something different, you know.
You know, Yoda, you were about to add something else to what you were talking about with the whole Jay-Z and the girls situation, so maybe you could continue what you were about to say.
Okay, well, actually with Jay-Z, I mean...
And I think where we left off was the fact that I was asking you, how is it different when somebody samples or borrows from you guys when rappers from day one have been accused of taking other people's music? Right.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I mean, we did do it or whatever, but back in the days, if you took somebody, like say Crash Crew, if somebody accused Crash Crew of stealing, say, a Furious 5 routine, well, then y'all just got to battle for it. You know what I mean? Y'all take it to the next party and battle for it and let the crowd decide whose routine is dopest and who can keep their routine. Because if it was whack, you lose stripes. I know some crews that lost equipment battling. I know some people who lost the right to use their name from battling because he had the same name as somebody.
Give me an example.
Off the top of my head, there's too many. I mean, if you was in Lincoln and you had somebody named Crazy K and another dude in Drew Hamilton named Crazy K, y'all got to battle for it. Whoever Crazy K is whack can no longer wear his DJ shirt or his crew shirt that says, I am so-and-so from this crew. No, you're not. Your name is now K-Love or whatever the hell you're going to call yourself, but it ain't Crazy K no more. You know, and see, that's what was different. I mean, it was all about, you know, making your skills tighter, and we always gave props to those who came before us.
But you know, that also has to have a sting when you have like a #1 record that's out there in a multi-billion-dollar a year business. I mean, to not have that credit or recognition, does that add extra hurt to it, or do the old rules of hip hop still apply?
No, the old rules are out the window now because the game has changed so much. Once these multi-billions and Madison Avenue came into hip-hop, the game changed. I mean, it's no longer can you go and battle somebody, because people are getting killed for battles. You know what I mean? I mean, the fans are so loyal to everybody now, to each other's camp. You can't have a decent battle without somebody want to take it to a violent level, which is not the way it was. Well, sometimes battles back in the days turned violent, but not as a rule. You know what I mean? And my thing now is, I mean, we try to talk to the Rockefeller camp, you know, and we try to open a dialogue, because we're not dead. You know what I mean? We're still here.
No doubt.
I'm still in the game in a big way. Mike C's doing...
You manage Easy Rock and Rob Dates and Easy Rock.
Yes, sir. And I'm out there on the road. I see these cats all the time. I talk with these cats, and they know I'm original Crash Crew. I mean, I've met members from Wu-Tang, and they're like, "Oh, Crash Crew, we love you guys." I mean, they'll give you your props. They model themselves after us. LL, he's one of the brothers that always give props. And my problem with Jay, with Jigga, is he talked out the side of his mouth on the whole album. I mean, how can you say in one record, I'm charging these cats up for what they did to the Cold Crush, but
meaning charging these cats up, meaning people who took routines from the Cold Crush and didn't give credit.
Right.
And then you turned around and did it on the
did to us. So where's the respect, loyalty, or love for what you calling yourself doing if you're going to do the same thing you're accusing somebody else of doing?
Right. We would like to hear a response back to that. Jay-Z.
So I love you. I love all y'all. For real.
I love girls, I do adore.
Yo, put your number on this paper, cause I would love to date you. Holla at you when I come off tour.
What we're gonna do right here is go back. Way back into time.
Begin to disco, I'm all mellow, it's on you, so what you gonna do? Well, girls, it's girls I can't ignore. I like them sweet and kind, intelligent and fine, it's them I do adore. With class and style, I make it worth the while when I take one on a date. Any race or creed is fine with me, you see I don't discriminate. Yes, girls, girls that can improve any man's life. You put your mind at ease and fulfill your needs when you take one for your wife. At the wave of your hands, they follow your commands, doing what you tell them to. Under pressure and stress, they'll perform their best, just as long as you are true. But see, you must understand to be a ladies' man, you treat them with grace and pride. Go hand in hand to be a gentleman, and they'll always be by your side. Oh, well, girls, 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 shout and clap your hands, because when Mellow on the mic, I know you like, and they call him G-Man. Cause you walking down the street with your box in your hand, and you playing the music of the Poison Clan, and you walking the pavement of the Sunrise Street, and you snapping your fingers to the show shop beat, and then you hear G-Man on your radio rapping, your feet start to dancing and your hands start to clapping, so you say to your friend that he's really good. I'm gonna take the show and rock the whole neighborhood. So you take the show and it sounds so very nice, so you sell it down the block for a very high price. Now the whole damn block is trying to sound like me, but I'm the original and not a duplicated copy. So a buzzy buzz,
my mellow, my man, LSD, my mellow, my man, Mace G, my mellow, my man, TC, my mellow, my man, 45, my mellow, my man, Debbie Deb, rocks the house.
Let me ask you this, as we get ready to close out on this thing. You mentioned the importance of the rappers, the entrepreneurial aspect, the fact that you all had before there was the Wu-Tang, you guys were a big giant crew that self-contained, did it all. Routines, the whole nine. When we talk about hip-hop, you often hear people talk about, well, hip-hop it has to have the graffiti. And when I talk to a lot of older cats like yourself, that's not something that comes front and center. And I'm wondering, what role that played between the graffiti as well as the dancing.
Well, you had a lot of cats. You got to remember, in the early days of hip hop, you had a lot of people that did all of these things. So they was never considered, I'm just a graph artist, I'm just a MC, I'm just a DJ, I just b-boy. You had cats that did all of that. When you went to a party, you know what I'm saying, even if you was a DJ, you might want to get out there and show your b-boy skills. So, I mean, everybody had their own little niche, but it was all there. It wasn't like, I'm separate, I'm a b-boy, I'm a graph artist.
Well, let's focus specifically on the graph, because people didn't come to your parties to see people write on the wall.
Exactly. I mean, if you was known for it, you was known for it. Because honestly, the person who did every single Crash Crew flyer is one of the most noted graph artists in the history, and that's Phase 2. Phase 2 did every Crash Crew, Mike and Dave flyer. You check it from day one to now, it's a Phase 2 flyer. So,
and that's history there. What were you going to add to that, LaShuby?
See, I mean, I was amazed when I saw Wild Style and B Street, and I saw the Pop Block and all this. It was done in a party, but the main thing was watching the DJ cut and scratch, watching MCs get up on the mic, tell stories, brag about itself. That's what it was about. It was about what Crash Crew's gonna do against the Funky Four, against the Cold Crush. We're gonna walk in your Bronx party and steal your fans. That was our main objective. Let's go up here and rock their party. See what girl I can take out of this party. It wasn't about what fly I see on the wall or what kid in there pop locking. So when I saw B Street and I saw Wild Style, I said, man, they must have had something that I missed. Even though back in days, like maybe in 1975, we did go to center parties where they were spinning to James Brown popcorn and all of that, but we were just in there trying to pick up somebody, because back then we wasn't rapping. We were just in the party trying to dance. But MCs, basically, we were honing our skills.
Now, the other thing, sometimes artists are accused of being too materialistic and too saying nothing on the mic. Now, I listened to the old tapes. People weren't as graphic, but, was there a difference in what they were saying today? I mean, it seems like people were bling-blinging from day one.
Yeah, it was true, because every rhyme that Shuby said, I only talk about what girl can I get from you, or can I take. I only got into maybe politics and certain issues according to what kind of song we made. You know, or one song I said, I tell kids, keep on striving for your goals, and if you find them, don't let them go. But our basic thing was, let me go to a party and get a girl. I mean, we wore gold. We were one of those original groups who had them plates, because I had a plate on my name called Shoe B, and people was like, man, where did he get that from? But our thing was, because we wasn't getting money back then. We wasn't getting paid. Okay, we worked summer youth court jobs. Okay, and we took our summer youth court cash and bought clothes with it. And go outside and rock our name belts, our sweatshirts with our name on it, and our jackets. You know, so for us, it wasn't bling bling back then, but you could say it was that kind of avenue.
You know, I talked to Barry Bistro about 6 years ago, and he had mentioned going overseas and seeing records with the Crash Crew versus Sugar Hill Gang that you guys didn't even know you all had done. And he was talking about all types of projects that took place where it was literally the outtakes of the groups being pressed onto albums. And he said a lot of people early on, because they didn't have the major label experience that is pretty commonplace knowledge now, a lot of people got ripped off essentially. And I wanted to know if maybe you could comment on that. You know, was that an unfortunate aspect of being a pioneer, that you guys you know, laid down the trail that everybody go, oh, them guys made mistakes, let me not do the same thing?
Exactly what you said. I mean, we were the hip-hop, what the Little Richards and all those early cats of rock and roll that got ripped off was. I mean, when the Sam Phillips and everybody ripped off the Little Richards of the world, and you had the Jerry Lee Lewis's going in, stealing their music and all that other stuff, it's the same thing with the early groups. I mean, we didn't know. We 16, 17 years old. These show us a case of money and say you're going to travel the world and do what you want to do. We got signed. I don't know what I'm signing away. I don't know nothing about publishing. I'm a 16-year-old kid from Harlem. What we know, you know, we just want to make records and get fame. And that's how it was easy to be set up that way for us to get robbed, because it was the same thing that happened earlier on.
And it happened to a lot of the early groups.
Mostly all the early pioneer groups it happened to. And that opened the door for the next cats to get a little bit of money. Like you see it when Run DMC came out, they started getting a little bit of money. Now they're able to get cars, they're able to get their little mansions and all this other stuff. Then the LLs, and then, you know, it just evolved. And each group, like even L's first contract was kind of on the shaky side, which he just finished negotiating. It was like a 20-year contract or something he had signed with Russell.
Really?
He just went something. It was something crazy like that. He just renegotiated, and now he's like the second in charge at Def Jam next to Lior. You know, that's why you think it's on Def Jam. Everybody else knew. L's still Def Jam. It was crazy what happened with him, but there's cats like that set the tone for the Jay-Z's to make their money and only own companies and get their own distribution deals and only own masters. So that's the key. We never.
But people would say that you guys started off with the first record company with Mike and Dave, but
well, that's a whole other issue. I mean, we did have the first record company, independent record company, Mike and Dave Records, but once again, the money wasn't that good, and somebody came to us with a better deal. I mean, you had cats from the Sugar Hill Gang showing the group a bag full of money and saying this could be yours if you sign with us and come with us. Sugar Hill was the premier label. I mean, Mike and Dave was taking us locally, tri-state area. We was touring, we were known, great. Sugar Hill is known nationally. You know, so now we get to, they tell us, yeah, we can go to travel the States, we can go to Canada, you know, we can get out of this little area we were stuck in. Of course we're going to jump at that.
And that's the unfortunate cycle that history is often put upon us.
Yes, sir.
You know, well, I want to thank you guys, and just in closing, maybe you can get some last comments. You know, one of the things I often talk about with hip-hop, one of the reasons that a lot of people got ripped off was there wasn't older mentors to really explain us. You know, and in particular, older black parents weren't really feeling it until now today.
The parents and all the older community leaders was trying to shut us down. You know, even your parents are telling you, why are you doing that stuff you do? It's a fad. It's not going to last. Well, mine 25 years later, you know what I mean? We still doing this, and it's the big business. But there was nobody that took the ball and said, yo, you guys can do this. I think it's a great thing you're doing. Nobody saw the potential of how many of us got took off the street, because a lot of us were into other illegal things that could have been a lot worse on the community if we didn't get into hip-hop. I mean, hip-hop not only changed lives, but changed directions of people's lives and thinking. Right. Now you have hip-hop activists. You have people that's really trying to make a difference through the music. And there was nobody that told us we could do this. There was no blueprint saying, yo, you guys can get this, you can do that. It was all about, it's not going to last. Why are you guys out there wasting your time? Go back to school. Go get a job. Nobody thought it would be the business it is.
And here it is, 25 years later, it's different. Last comments from you, Lashubi?
Basically, comments from me is this. For anybody who want to know their history, contact the Crash Crew. Go to, research it, go to the websites, and we'll tell you everything that you need to know that you didn't know.
Okay. Point well taken. Mike?
Yeah, my last comment is that, within this music business, as far as hip-hop, I just wish that, it goes into a different direction, because there's a lot of music that's out here now that's degrading women and talking about nonsense, So I'm just looking for that change.
But let me ask you this as we close, because, somebody listened to, I know we're running out, but if somebody listened to Lashubi 20 years ago, and saying he's talking about going to the party, picking up girls, is he degrading? So is it all relative to whatever time you're in? Because, nowadays everybody's more graphic, so it's going to be more in your face. But somebody might make the argument that compared to Marvin Gaye,
well, basically,
Lashubi was, a misogynist.
Well, actually, that wasn't all what Shubi talked about. There was a lot of strong points that we put together as far as music. We talked about schooling. He mentioned stay in school, don't be a fool. There was a lot of educational things that we have put together. But as time goes on, you much older now, it ain't about talking about I'm trying to get this girl and trying to get that girl,
So I guess as quiet as kept, there's a lot of folks who came out of that time period that have kind of know better, that is doing the foul stuff, so that makes sense.
Right. Pretty much.
Well, I appreciate it. It's 94.1 Hard Knock Radio, talking with the Crash Crew, Mike C, Lashubi, and Yo.
Some call it MC and some call it rap. If you're rocking to the music, you know where it's at. A DJ plays a record that'll make you move, while the rapper then helps you get in the groove. They relate to you a message that's on the mind, that makes your body move from left to right. So we're the Crash Crew and we are your need. And when you listen to our music, you know it's a treat. So come on everybody, get up out of your seat and rock with us till the end of the week. So come inside, you don't need a reservation. Party your best without hesitation. Old and young, come and get some. Cause Crash Crew, yeah, is number one. Come on, all the ladies in the house, let me hear you say ow. Say ow. Homeboys, make some noise. Say ho. Say ho. We're 5 MCs with utmost finesse. Got girls in the east and girls in the west. Got girls in the north and girls in the south. Check out the way we come out of mouth. Well, I'm MC Reggie Red, some call me Rap One, cause I get on the mic and be second to none. Well, I'm Barry B. Stowe, I'm rapping number 2, and I came here tonight just to talk to you. Well, I'm MC Shuby, rapping number 3, and all the young ladies in love with me. And I'm Kid Mike C, rapping number 4. Got all the fly girls knocking at my door. And I'm the Melody Man, rapping number 5. Yes, in any battle, I do survive. So we're the Crash Crew, so solid and smooth. All the young ladies wanna catch our groove. Catch it, yeah, catch it if you can. Crash is rocking on your radio.
WBRKD. Breakdown FM, where we break down news, views, and the hip hop movement.